TV on?
Yep, you're live.
I'm alive. I can't see a thing.
Good morning. Turn the TV on. She doesn't know.
We're going out with a bang, I hear. All right. We are going to work on some strength stuff today before I see you all in person on Monday. And we're going to start with some shoulder rehab for your rotator cuff. And then we're going to stir into some bent arm and then straight arm work at the end, okay? So first thing you're going to want to have is a band, or even a jumper will work, or just something a little bit stretchy. This is good, or the TheraBands, the much thinner bands, are very good for this too. And I have a yoga ball, or a fit ball, whatever you want to call them. But you can use pillows or anything to elevate your chest. Will also work. We're going to start with this one. We're going to work on some swimmers. So opening up our shoulders. Now you're going to want to find somewhere that you can anchor your feet. It helps a lot. So I'm going to use the pole there, just put one of my feet on. And then from there, you don't want to have the ball too low down because you're going to be arching your back, and that's not what I want. I want you to be nice and straight as best as you can. This ideally is done on the floor, and I'll show you that variation as well. But if you are doing it on the yoga ball, try and put it roughly around ribcage, sternum area, and you're trying to keep your chest parallel to the ground as best you can. And then try to tuck your tailbone under as well. So no bananaing. You want to be bum squeezing, push it into the yoga ball, and then from there you're going to hold your hands up like that. So I'm going to be here. I'm pulling everything back, including my wrists, making sure that I'm not kinking my wrists like that, okay? And then trying to keep pulling all of this up to the ceiling. I'm then going to try to straighten my arms overhead, open shoulders, and then coming back to the starting position. You can add weight to this, especially if you have raised yourself up, but don't compromise your range here. So, for example, if you are holding weight, and then you feel like your arms are starting to lower down like that, ditch the weight. Think more about lifting your thumbs up to the ceiling so you're getting that range, okay? If you would like to try it on the ground, and this is if you have relatively bendy shoulders, you might be able to do this. It's a lot harder. You're going to try to tuck your bum under so that you can get a hand underneath here so your belly button is not on the floor. And then you're doing the same thing. So lifting without touching the ground. And then coming back, okay? If you feel like you cannot keep your belly button off the ground, then I suggest you raise yourself up slightly. We're going to be doing 10 of those. And then we're going to be doing an exercise with the band straight afterwards. And we're going to do 3 sets. So starting with this one. Finding a good space. And remember, keeping your chest parallel to the ground so we're not bananaing. And weight is optional. So holding up, you got little fists. Think thumbs up to the ceiling. And then straightening. You should feel your upper back squeezing. And then coming back, that is 1. This is 2. 3. 4. 5. Make sure the arms are straight as you get to here. 6. 7, and 8, nine, and 10. Okay, going to the band now. So you're going to be lying on the ground. Feel free to have a mat if you have one handy. But being on the floor is not so bad. All right, straight legs, tailbone tucked under, and then the hands start at the hips. You're going to have your thumbs again pointing up to the ceiling. The wider your hands are, the easier this is going to be because you want to pull the band as far apart as you can. Obviously, if you're going all the way out here, it needs to be a bit harder. So pulling the band. I'm also reaching like someone's yanking me forward. And then maintaining those two things, you're trying to pull the band over your head, like so, without letting your ribs flat. So chest has to stay in, and then you come all the way back to your starting position, okay? And we're going to do 10 of those. So pulling, protract, and 1. You may not be able to get the hands to the ground at the minute. I can't, and that's fine. And then back. 2. Chest in. 3. If you find it difficult to get your lower back to the floor, you can bend your knees slightly like I just did. And 4. 5. 6. 7. 3 more to go. 8. 9. And last one, 10. Okay, that was set 1. We are going to do 2 more sets. So going back to the yoga ball. Same thing. So make sure you don't place it too low. And 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And the last one, 10. Okay, back to the bend. So again, with that one, you want to really feel it through your upper back to get your arms back. Okay, pulling the band, reaching, so we're protracting. Chest is in, and this is 1. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, keep that back rounded, and one more time, 10. Okay, last set. Back to the ball. All right, ready. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep lifting the elbows and the wrists up to the ceiling. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more time, 10. Okay. Last time in the band. I should put this back. Again, lying on the floor. Tailbone tucked, hollow chest. Pull the band apart, protract, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more time, 10. Okay. Second little superset we're going to do is work on our scapula. So you're going to need a hanging bar for this one. And we're going to work on some shrugs. So with your bar, 2 hands on, starting in a passive position so the shoulders are up past the ears. You're going to bring the shoulders down, so you've got space between the ears now and your shoulders, and then back down to passive. You can use your feet if you need to for support, if you feel like you can't quite get that little gap. So with my feet here, using those to help me get up and back down. If you need to make this harder, you're going to work on single arm. So favoring one side, I'm only going to hold the bar with 2 or 3 fingers, and I'm going to be using my right arm. So I'm going to think about pulling my hip to my lat and drawing all of that down, using this to assist me. So my left arm can bend, pulling here, and then back down, okay? We're going to do 10 in total. If you are doing singles, you're going to be doing 5 on each side, okay? Let's begin. So starting on the bar, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Cool. Coming down to the floor. So for this one, we're going to work on straight arm pushing. So working protraction and retraction in your shoulder blades. Now ideally you're in your plank position. If you have sore wrists, you can turn them out slightly is fine, just so you can get your shoulders over your hands. You're going to start in your protracted position, so I'm rounding my back as much as I can. So think about pushing, and then keeping my arms straight, I'm going to retract. So I squeeze my shoulder blades together, and then I push. Again, keeping my shoulders over my wrists, legs are straight, tailbone is tucked under, and making sure you're not moving the hips when you're doing this. If you do start struggling, or if you can't quite get the movement, you can keep your knees bent for now, and then work the same movement, okay? All right, 10 of these. So protracting, retract, protract, that was 1. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, give the wrist a shake, and then we're going to go back to the first one. So back to the bar. Okay.
Thank you, Rawson. Rawson.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back to your pushing. Protracting and retract. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, give the wrist a shake. We're going to do one more set. So back to the bar. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Pushing. Weighted pull-ups and pistol squats. Oh, it's early.
Do you want to try some?
I'm okay. I'll stick to arms. It's too early for legs. All right, last one. And 1, 2.
Yeah, I struggle with normal pull-ups.
3, 4, 5.
Just need to get past 3, I think, to begin with.
3 is pretty good. 7, 8, 9, 10.
quick one before you go to work. Nice. I guess that's the norm sometimes. You just work out before you go to work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Continue work.
I feel, yeah, some people, myself included, have more energy in the morning. And I like to have it done. Because I'm assuming when you get home from work, the last thing you want to do is weighted pull-ups and pistol squats.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, you just kind of want to relax.
Yeah. And it's kind of a wake up, wakes you up.
Yeah, start slow. Yeah, that's what everyone recommends. That's what Matt always says. Just take it slow. You know,
pretty much.
It's not a race.
It's quite disheartening when you try and do it quickly. And then you just get injured and buggered.
I feel like we all...
Corey.
Corey's opposite.
Oh, you're an evening person, Corey. Oh. No, it's tea in bed. After work, it's tea in bed.
Yeah, he's talking about just going hardcore, going strong, Corey. He works out like a maniac.
I mean, I can see that. We are going to do some Vietnam now. I'm going to regret programming this, but we'll see. Shoulder stands and ice cream makers. So a lot of time on intention.
She's drinking tea.
I'm drinking. Who's asking if I'm drinking? Oh, tea is the best pre-workout during workout drink you'll ever have. What's Corey saying? But I also don't sleep until like 12.
Corey says, yeah.
Crazy.
You don't sleep until like 12 hours. Oh, you don't sleep until like 12.
Yeah.
That's kind of normal or early for me.
Is it? God, by 8 o'clock, I'm in bed. I'm done for the day. Usually go for coffee. I can't do coffee.
Same.
I just hate the taste of it. So we've like compromised with the caffeine and we've gone for tea.
Yep, so this is for, anyone to the public at the moment. And then we've also got like more private Zoom classes that we do. The gyms over here, or particularly the smaller ones, are going back to business. So this is going to be our last stream just temporarily because we need to rebuild the gym and get it ready to open on Monday. And then we'll be resuming it like soon. Barista for 8 years or so.
And I love coffee. I mean, that'll do it.
Yeah. Although I did do a little bit of baristering, like that's the word, in like a petrol station. I like making coffee on a barista machine. Still hate it.
Don't you need to like love coffee to make a good coffee?
No, I don't think so.
Question.
Maybe. It
Question
probably helps.
for everyone.
But it's like a vegetarian chef or something.
Vegetarian chef who's not a vegetarian? That's different. You know what tastes good with food. But if you don't like coffee...
But it's not like you can taste like certain things if you're making
I see. If they're vegetarian and they're preparing meat. I think they're really anal about that. I know my friend is. She won't... Like, everything has to be separate. If a cutting board has had meat on it at some point, she cannot use it.
Yeah, no, they are
nice
like
and
that,
stuff. Anyway, this took a tangent. We are going to start with shoulder stands. There are many variations of shoulder stands. You're going to want to have either a set of rings, but bear in mind the rings will be a lot harder because they are an unstable object. Best thing to work with is a set of parallettes. They can be the high ones, they can be the low ones. Personally, I like to start with the low ones, not because you have less to fall. It's just a lot easier to get into the position. You can also use a couple of chairs if they feel relatively sturdy. Alternatively, if you have these little stools or something like it, that will also work out for you. But if you don't have any access to any of that, we can just work on push-ups. So we'll go easiest to hardest. Variation 1, you are just going to pass through the 2 end positions. So when you're doing a shoulder stand, you're starting in your L-sit, you're going up into a shoulder stand, and then you're going back to an L-sit, okay? We might not be able to do the transitions just yet, so you're just going to work on the 2 end positions. So the first one being your L-sit, so making sure the parallettes, or whatever you're using, is wide enough. You want to have straight elbows. We want to be externally rotated, so as you are pushing, you're trying to turn so that the back of your elbow is facing forward and you are protracted. So when we did our scapular push-up, when you're at the top of the position, that's protraction. That's what you want to try and mimic when you are here. Slightly different because you're not going to be in that parallel position. You are somewhat upright. So just think about rolling the shoulders forward, but keeping them away from your ears so that you're not here, okay? So locking that in place, and then you're going to see first if you can lift your knees off the ground, okay? Like so. If we can do that, the next step is to have the legs out in front of you. So that'll be 3 to 5 second hold depending on what you can do. The second variation, the second part of that would be your shoulder stand. So you've gone from your L-sit, feet come to the ground. You're going to walk yourself back and see if you can hold here first. Eventually we want our feet off the ground, but again we might not be able to do that. So holding on our tippy toes, rounded shoulders, and making sure that your elbows are in line with your wrists, okay? If you want to, and this is why I prefer lower ones because you can actually get into it a bit better, you can put a stool here, like that, and that'll get your hips up a little bit higher, and that'll feel a little bit more real. Because all you have to do from there is try and slowly get your feet off. I suggest not jumping, because if you do overshoot it, you will go flying, okay? So if we are intending to get our feet off, it is a nice, slow, controlled lift. Making sure that we are not resting our shoulders on the bar, and we are not resting our elbows in our hips. The elbows sit next to you. They are squeezing in, but they're not resting on anything, okay? So each of them, 3 to 5 second hold. You're going to hold the L-sit, walk yourself to your shoulder stand, holding there, and then walk yourself back to your L-sit. If you want to make it a bit more like the transition, 3, 2, 1, feet come to the ground. As you walk back, try not to let your elbows go behind you. So keep them in line with your wrists. And same thing as you push back. Yeah? So for example, if I'm going back, I want to avoid this. Okay? Keeping them forward. If you can do the transition, you're just doing that. Same thing with the feet off the ground. So, here to there, back to here, okay? Either starting from your L-sit, doing the full thing, or the negative would be starting from a shoulder stand and then coming through to an L-sit, okay? We are going to start with that. And then we will do the pulling. We're going to do 3 repetitions. 3 reps might be too much for some people, in which case you can rep 1 to 3. If 1 is your absolute max and you're working at your hardest, then you can stick with 1. It is fine. Everything's in the way. Okay. Ready? Having a full-blown conversation. All right, starting here. And 1. Back, I've lost my mic. We've got a wardrobe malfunction. Okay. And 2. More time. And back. Okay. Pulling exercise. We're going to work on ice cream makers. So for this one, either using a pair of rings, or you can do the same thing on the bar if you have that. Essentially, it's going from a front lever position. So we're starting with straight elbows. You're going to pull up to the top of your pull-up. So we're going from straight to bent, and then you're going back to your front lever position. Your difficulty is determined by 2 things: how close your knees are to your chest, and how high your hips are when you're in your front lever, okay? So for example, if your hips are nice and high, and if your knees are close to your chest, that'll be the easiest way to do it. So the further your knees go from your chest, the lower your hips go when you're in your front lever, the harder it's going to be, okay? Now, if you cannot do that, so if you give it a crack and nothing's happening, you can just go into a candle and work on pulls from there. So going up here and seeing if you can pull your thumbs to your shoulders. Alternatively, you can work on body rows if that is still too much. So just going all the way back here, working a retractor position and pulling your thumbs to your chest and back down. So those would be your 3 options. If you don't have a set of rings, you can do your rows on a set of parallettes if you just go underneath them, okay? So we're going to do, again, 1 to 3 of those. You're working at your hardest. So if you have a 1 rep max, then that's it, okay? I will go this way. All right. And 1, 2, and 3. Cool. We are going to have a break. So we're going to go for a minute, just have a rest, and then we'll come back and we will do a few more sets of that, okay? Tea break. The awkward clothing. It got really hot. The jumper's off.
Everyone's going to get excited every time we go on a break.
It's like 1 item of clothing is going to be removed. No, it's not that kind of show, even if it's the last one for a while. That's when you just walk in the background and then 1 item of clothing is removed every time you walk past.
Yeah, true. Just doing
Take
some helicopters.
Take 1 for the team. Okay, back to your shoulder stand. These are quite skill-based exercises, so if you are having trouble with them, even if you're watching this later, feel free to post in the comments and we can try and give you some feedback on them. But it is technique. So if you're quite strong and you are struggling with them, it might be that is the issue. Okay. Down, 2. And 1. 2. 3.
Those pants look comfy. They look comfy as kind of like circus pants. Funny you say that.
I have 2 pairs of pants on.
There we are.
I have a pair of leggings on, and then I have my boyfriend's Nike trackies on top.
Nice. Yeah, she does do circus.
I do circus.
So you're not wrong there, in a way. But I think I know what he means, like the puffiness, I guess, maybe.
See, when you do circus stuff, this is my faux power track pants, is they're never high enough. Because obviously when you're like rolling on bars and stuff, you're like cutting open all of this. So.
You get like some form of like, waistband.
Yeah, so I'll usually do like a back warmer and then a pair of high-waisted leggings. Sometimes I'll do trackies over the top. Circus fashion. Okay, going into your ice cream makers. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, again, we're going to have a minute rest, and then we're going to go back into it. I do lyra and straps as well. I do some duo acro. We run Kaleido Company, which is like a local Perth circus. So we do a lot of corporate and community events and fringe. Hopefully fringe next year. Is the goal. I reckon fringe will happen though.
You did it this year or last time, didn't you?
We've been doing fringe the past 2-3 years.
Oh.
I think next year might just be local. Yeah. So I think usually you have a tiny human and then a large bulky guy. My partner is the same size as me, so we kind of change who's basing, who's flying, which is kind of cool. Oh, time's up. Okay.
That's all right. You can have more time by, talking.
Communicating. Ask me more questions. Okay. Do or die.
That's good.
That's very cool.
I love puns and dad jokes and stuff, so that is hilarious.
Big dude and small girl. Yeah, it's usually a large beast godly man and this tiny 40-kilo woman, and he just throws the chick a million miles an hour. But I think when you are the same size, you get a little bit more creative with what you do.
Well, like I said, you can sort of like switch out who's who.
Yeah, I mean, I usually base her because she's more trained as a flyer, and
Up you go.
Yeah, and I think when you're a flyer, you have to be okay with giving someone else control.
Yeah.
Because as a base, you'll be balancing them, and I just cannot. I find it really hard to do that. Oh, okay, we'll watch that later. We'll have a look. All right, shoulder stance. 1. 2. 3. 'And that was my elbow. All right, into...
That was a good click.
Hmm?
That was a good click. I don't know if it felt good, but...
It's now loose. Should be fine. Front lever. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're going to have a break. We have one more set of that, and then we're going to get into some straight arm.
No, that's what the class
that's
is
fine.
about. Asking questions and doing things live. That's the best thing about streaming.
I think it's better when people talk because
Yeah.
then I have something to talk about.
Absolutely.
Like twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the next exercise.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what it's all about, is the interaction. That's what kind of defies like streaming and makes it so great. Like when you're watching gamers, you know, sure, their game is great, but you also, you know, like talking to them more, their personality and the interaction.
Do they, because obviously when you're doing game streaming, there must be like hundreds of thousands of comments just like floating through the screen in a second.
Only if you're super big.
Yeah.
So if you're super big and you've got like 25k people watching you or something like that, then
How do you
sure.
like...
There's things like slow mode and followers only and things like that. So people can't spam you as much. And you put it in slow mode so you can only one person can type every few minutes or something.
Ah, that's smart.
Yeah. But yeah, generally if they have a big streamer, then it's hard to read it all. And some people just chatting to themselves. They're just spamming things like PogChamp or F or, you know, all these other things.
Big building. Ah.
Yeah, he's right there. So generally, when you get really big in streaming, good ones still like look at chat and reply and talk to the people as much as they can.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of that, how fast it's going, a lot of the time they generally only reply to people that like donate bits, money.
Yeah.
Or subscribe and things like that, because then they can write a message in there.
Oh, okay.
So that's what a lot of people do. They, you know, give a little bit of bits or a little bit of money, and then they type a message in there, so it's on chat and it's on stream, and they read it and
fair
things like that.
God, and they ignore donations. That's so bad. I mean, if you're getting like 20 donations at once, I can probably see how that would happen.
What's that?
Oh, just ignore donations.
Oh yeah, when you get, it's like they ignore. It's like when you get super big, when you first start out, you're like thanking and loving every follower and every comment. It's super exciting, right? And then you get bigger, and then you stop like saying, you know, thanks for the follow. You know, when you're just that big, and then people just continuously following, you don't follow it, you don't say thank you. And then so when you get super big, sometimes I haven't really seen a big streamer not appreciate a donation or anything like that.
Yeah.
Unless they're pretty shitty.
Oh my God.
Because generally that's the only reason that you're going to say stuff, is because someone donated something, money, and
how funny. I'm in the wrong profession.
You can live off it, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Tim the Tatman and Ninja and all that, QSC, XQC or whatever. Yeah, it is a crazy world.
All right, we're doing one more.
Yeah, when you're in like 100k plus a month, you don't care about a $10 donation.
Two.
I mean, all the streamers that I've seen have appreciated every donation.
3.
But I'm sure there are some out there that kind of maybe ignore it.
Halfway. All right, front lever. 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Yeah, smart ones will take a break from the game and then go through the list if they've got like a whole backlog of people donating stuff.
Appreciated fans.
Yeah, I guess the really big ones that get like a ton. I think like XQC, but usually his chat just spams him with crap. It's quite funny. They donate, but then in the message they just put, because it's like a bot that reads it out.
Mm-hmm.
They just like kind of like spam it with a whole bunch of like stupid stuff because they're just trying to annoy the streamer or just be a pest.
Fitness goals. Weirdly enough, mine currently is a press handstand because I gave up handstands many years ago.
So
what's yours, Gary?
Well, I'm a tech guy. Actually, not any form of like fitness person, so I can't really comment on things that you talk about. That's why I hope Maisie can just like take care of that and answer those fitness questions. Mine, I need to get back into it a lot more and go really hard, really fast. And, just get fit.
And then in 6 weeks' time, you're like doing
I'm not
one-arm
fat,
chins and.
but I'm definitely not healthy or fit. So doing any form of exercise, I think doing a whole bunch of pull-ups would be, the main sort of goal. Maybe I'm not too bad with handstands. I can take that casually.
Handstands is take it or leave it, I think.
Yeah.
You either love it or you hate it. I hate it, but it's just a thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's a little bit more natural to me just because I used to do it as a kid and breakdancing and stuff. So it's still there. So it won't take too much to actually get into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm not that too passionate about doing handstands.
Yeah, I think you have to be pretty motivated.
Yeah, like I said, I can probably take it casually and still get there quite easy. Hopefully, I sound a bit big-headed, but
one could probably do it, but
Yeah, but no, I have like that sort of still natural talent there. You hate it, you can't get any better at handstands, so I'm stubborn and keep doing them. Nice.
I mean, that's a good excuse. Okay, we are going to finish up with some straight arm stuff. It's going to be quick and dirty.
Yeah, because you have to do all those toe and heel pulls
journey.
and stuff. It takes a while to condition yourself, like your shoulders and doing the right posture.
We're going to work on push. So it's going to be L-sit to planche. And then we're going to work on some arching hangs to finish. So, I don't know why I'm holding the bar.
Have a set of... Oh, Steve Rigby says, yeah, this is great, guys. Thanks. Have a set of rings and have just started. This is exactly the type of workout I'm after.
Sweet. Variations.
That's what we're here for.
And if you need any other variations, do let me know. It's hard to like tell them all because there's so many.
Yeah, there's lots of variations. I mean, what you were doing there, that was the ice cream ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, there are a lot of different variations of those. I mean, if you're coming at it with a general level of strength, most guys can usually do them. This one though, it's kind of like your shoulder stand in a way. L-sit, up to a planche, back to an L-sit. And obviously you're just lifting your legs as high as you can, and then you're just pushing as high as you can. You might not be able to get that high, you might be able to get higher than me, that's fine. We're just gonna do 5, back and forward. Try to pause at each end position though. So we're not swinging from point to point. We're holding L-sit to 1, slow transition, planche to 1, back to your L-sit, okay? We shall start with that. Again, you can do this on those P-bars that I showed you earlier. You can do them on chairs, on stools, whatever you have available to you.
Yeah, okay, I've got to run. Thanks for the chat. Great to see another calisthenics stream. Looking forward to the future streams. Take care. Thanks for walking.
Thanks for the chats.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for popping in. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Again, the streams will be down temporarily because we're going to rebuild the gym. But hopefully we'll be back up soon. Take care.
Okay, let's do this. Last thing. Same thing when you are doing this one. Make sure we're not up here. Shoulders are away from the ears, protracting as best as you can, especially if you're in your planche position. You can go straight or you can go bent knees for this one as well. So starting here, up to planche, back to L-sit, that's 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over on your hanging bars or on the rings, we're going to work on some arching hangs. So straight elbows again, working on a pull. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together and then try to lift your chest up and then back down to hanging, trying to get all of this to work rather than just your lats. And to do that, you need to think about pulling your lats back, okay? 5 of these. Feet can be on the ground as well if you need to. And same thing with this one, you're literally going to lift as high as your body will let you lift at the moment. So here, shoulders down, retract. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5. And down. Grab a quick drink, and then we're going to go back to it. Okay. Up here, L-sit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Going to the bar. So it's a little bit of endurance training as well, because there's not much break. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're halfway. Back to the bar. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In your arching hangs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Forearms are burning. Okay, one more. All right, and up. L-sit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Into your arching hangs. One, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, that is the end of the class. Thank you for watching. Like Gary's been saying, this will be the last stream for maybe a couple of weeks, just while we transition into making this a real life gym again. And I will see.
Things back to normal, yes.
I'll see some of you on Monday morning, actually. And people, communication to actual people.
Oh my God. Real. I just keep. Have you seen? Was it Mars? No. Interstellar. Have you watched that film?
No.
Okay, so the reference isn't. No, I just imagine because some guy like hasn't seen a human being for like ages. So when he wakes up, he's like touching, like, oh my God, and cries and hugs him. It's got a vision of like, you know, when things go back to normal.
Yeah.
It's like people are going to be like that. Anyways.
Thanks for watching, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, so anyone that's still watching, yeah, so these streams will be down temporarily. Obviously, all the actual previous streams and that will be still available online on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. The easiest way is probably YouTube or Twitch to rewatch it because you can kind of see it easy. So yeah, feel free to just rewatch some of those. And then yeah, we'll announce when we have these streams back. But thanks everyone for watching. I'm Gary, that's Maisie. This is the Bodyweight Gym. That sounds cheesy, but yeah. Have a great day. We'll catch you later on. And
right.
Yeah. See you next time.
See you later, guys.
Thanks, Blanket Boy. Yeah, it is a bit of a sick gym. Yeah, let me show you. Yep, so, you know, full gym. We just changed it into more of a streaming gym while everyone was locked up a little bit and while no one could actually come to a gym. But we are going back to it being a normal gym. And then we will find out how we're going to do the streams again. Probably the same angle, but yeah. I mean, if you're in Perth, you can always check us out. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we have just finished. But thanks for popping in, and thanks for the follow. That way you can be notified when we actually go live again, which hopefully will be very, very soon. So yeah, yeah, thanks for watching.